Yeah, I definitely think that we're writing jokes for really involved dads, not we were not doing the typical sitcom dad who's not around. Because we also wrote jokes for moms. And then we just naturally transitioned to writing jokes for dads. And a lot of the things hit the same for both. And like modern dads are just as involved. But yeah, we would definitely write things about our own life. Jokes about our own kids being super picky eaters and stuff like that. And then we sort of started to see what people were responding to. And there's just, Joel and I always say this, there's like a few like repeating themes in parenting jokes, which is basically how you love your kids so much and you give them everything and they treat you like shit. I don't know if I can I swear on here?
That's fine.
It's a podcast.
Edit that
Okay.
out. Edit that out.
But in a funny way, like in a loving way, we would kind of poke fun at that because it is like a job where your boss is just so mean to you and there's no HR, you're the HR, and your employees are out of control. But yeah, we just ended up writing about things that were relatable for all parents. But then the more we did the dad, the more we found that people our age, so millennials, we were really nostalgic about our kind of early 90s dads, 80s dads that we remembered. Yeah. So that's like the jean shorts, right? And like the braided leather belts on the New Balance sneakers, which are back in style, by the way. And so we ended up writing kind of a lot of jokes about that, all the sort of cheesy things we remember our dad saying, and the grill tongs, clicking the grill tongs, and all that type of stuff. And people really loved it. People really respond to that. I think people our age were just like kind of nostalgic for our parents, even though we are a different brand of parents, I think. Now.
For sure. I think anytime you become a parent, you become just inherently nostalgic. It's like because you get to live the world again through the eyes of your child who is experiencing everything for the first time, which is the best. So as parents, we get to share timeless classics with our kids. We like, sit down, kids, I want you to watch this movie. It changed my life. It's amazing. And then within 5 minutes, they're like, this is boring. Can we turn this off now?
What timeless classics are you talking about, Joel? You're talking about like Back to the Future?
Yeah, that's one. My kids can't make it through Back to the Future. Yes.
Okay, you this was in the book. When you talked about movies, about showing kids movies that we loved too early, and number one was The Godfather.
Yeah. I let my kids watch Terminator.
Yeah.
And I think it was perhaps too young. None of their friends know any of the references when they're quoting it.
That's how you know. That's how you know you crossed the line. That's right. My son and I watched John Wick last weekend, and he's 11. We're not recording, are we? Don't tell anybody.
I showed my son Indiana Jones for the first time.
That's PG-13.
Listen, he loved it, but he got genuinely scared when the Nazis' faces were melting and one guy's like eyeball comes out and like the head explodes. He got like scared, and I was like, oh, I guess maybe I should have thought about it before I showed him this.
Well, yeah, PG-13 from the 80s, 90s just it doesn't convert the same.
That's exactly what happened for the sequel of Indiana Jones. That's why there's a PG-13 is the sequel where a guy reaches in his hand and pulls out a heart. That was rated PG. And then parents were like, we can't take our kids to this. And they created PG-13 because of Steven Spielberg and his kids film that he made.
But like in my memory, Indiana Jones is like wholesome. Like it's like a classic Bible film. Like there's nothing because I watched it so much as a kid, and then I showed it to him and I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is like pretty violent. He's, the one Nazi gets chopped up by the propeller of the airplane.
Allie, I know you're a Simpsons fan. What was your thoughts on the Simpsons back in the day? Because my wife Laura, 100%. She was not allowed to watch the Simpsons for whatever reason. Her parents thought it was like the worst show on television.
Well, you came from one of two families. Either the family where like you weren't allowed to watch Simpsons ever, or like my family where like I grew up on The Simpsons. And I do let my kids watch it now, but I kind of wonder that my parents never uh
It's good
saw
parent.
anything wrong with that.
Flew under the radar. That's good.
I've gotten in trouble for showing Simpsons to kids friends. Like, they just gather around and watch a Simpsons episode.
But like, I feel like how are they going to develop a sense of humor if they don't watch The Simpsons?
Thank you. Perfect. Exactly. That's my.
I was gonna say, Allie, it shows that you grew up on The Simpsons. It shows. That's a compliment.
Yeah, it's like just enough trauma of just like being exposed to things you shouldn't be exposed to that it really just builds a good, healthy sense of humor.
That's a testimonial from Matt Groening.
Yeah, I hope he sees this and knows that I thank him for his role in my life.
I think we all do.